What's going on, guys? Check this out. This side of the screen. Isn't that awesome? Let's go big screen really quick, then we'll get to the muster. That is awesome. That is awesome. Wow. It's almost like SpaceX chose this time deliberately to get those epic shots. Yeah, we'll turn the volume up here in a minute. There's mission control. That might be where Elon is. I don't know. I've been rushing around. I haven't had a chance to sit down until like 5 minutes before I started this stream because the dogs decided to eat slow this morning out of all mornings. Get pumped. Welcome to test flight number dos. That's 2 in French. It's French, right? So let's go ahead and muster up. The old routine, muster up where you from, what you munching on. I also got the doggo cam up. Why are you scratching in front of my friends? You're embarrassing me. Hey, why don't you go get Jeb? Go get Jeb, Wiley. Get Jeb, get Jeb, get Jeb. There he goes. You got him. He took my Jeb.
They took our Jeb. They took your Jeb. They took your Jeb.
Took my derp. He took my derp. Give me back my derp. Come here. Oh, hi, Pepe's. What? Give him back. Say, I ate my breakfast. Now I got all this energy. His metabolism is freaky fast. He's a dumb pup. Hey, you're gonna rip Jeb apart. Come here. Someone's excited for the Starship launch. Come here, you derp. All right, back back to me and to you guys. Come here. You're gonna tear his arm off. That thing was like $40. Come here. Come here. Come here. Good boy, Blythe. Stop it. Don't pull. He's like, give me back the Jeb. Give me back the Jeb. Ew, he's got slobber all over him. Thank you for that. Okay, he wants it back. He's biting me. He's like, if you don't give me the Jeb, I'm gonna bite you, Dad. You're funny. I'll give him to you later. I'll give him to you later. All right. Yeah, what were we doing? I forgot. Oh yeah, we're streaming SpaceX. Okay. Let's see here. Locals members, I do have the locals chat up for you. Scrolling up. We got Mike Clark for the super chat. Go SpaceX, go Starship, go Kev! Exclamation point. The live stream's intro music was very cool. Where'd you get it? There's this this content creator who does music. I subscribe on his Patreon, or at least I used to. And hey, can you keep it down? Thanks. And he's really talented artist. I can't remember his name. I think it might be in the description of this video. Hi, buddy. Now you have a ball? Okay. Let's do the ball really quick, then we'll get to the muster. Gotta not hit peeps. He's like, that was a pathetic throw. Oh, and it went under the entertainment center. Great. Well, we're both not having a good morning, buddy. Sorry about that. You can get it. Good boy. Get it. Get it. Oh, thanks for the belch. Appreciate that. Okay. So thanks for that, Mike Clark. I appreciate you. Christopher Thode, or Toady. Welcome to the eccentric fam. Call me daddy. Appreciate your support. All right. Where are you guys from? What you munching on? I am sipping out of my eccentric mug. It's just water, so that's boring, but at least I got an awesome mug to drink out of. Eccentric mugs make every drink drinkable. All right. There we go. Meg 2 Sith on the locals chat. Wilmington, North Carolina. Coffee. Los Wiley. Don't kill Jib. He took my Jib. He gonna kill Jib. What's going on, Paul? From Durban, South Africa. What's going on, South Africa? I have no soundbite for South Africa. So sorry. What's going on, Buck Fiden? Good to see you again. Historic launch. Yeah. We'll get to what your guys' predictions are here in a minute. John Unspruchter, of course, is joining us in the live stream. Not me personally, but the SpaceX live stream down there. That's John. Say hi, John. I liked John before it was cool to like John. Master Chief Mike Clark. What's up, Mergs? I like that. Commander Mergs. Salute with the trailer. Appreciate you. You gotta say hi to my big bro, Brad. What's up, Brad? I promised him a shout out. Shoots, brah. No shoots on this mission, although they might surprise us. That'd be awesome. Each Raptor engine has its own chute. That'd be sweet. You have an army of Raptor chutes. Oh, that's an idea. Save the chutes. I'm going to start that campaign. Just in case of a Rudd. South LA. Cool. Since we have California, I'll do the California soundbite.
California. Beautiful.
Hans, what's going on, Hans? And Austin McMurtray, Master Chief. In my chat, Master Chief outranks Admiral. Okay, because I added in later because I got another slot. And it's a more respectable position because there's still politics involved, but it's less politics. And W Divine 925, welcome to the Eccentric fam. I appreciate your support. Call me daddy. What's going on, Salty? New Jersey. I have something for New Jersey, I believe. Yeah, there it is. New Jersey.
That's a lovely accent you have. New Jersey?
Got a lot of Dumb and Dumber sound bites. Hilarious. Andy in Alaska. What's going on, Alaska? Jonathan Kish. It's been so long, Kev. Yes, it has. I was about to say the same thing about you, dude. Yeah. Keeping pretty busy these days. Don't really have much time to live stream many Starlink launches. Maybe we'll get to it again someday. But we're definitely focused on these bigger ones like Starship and Falcon Heavy. There is a 20-minute launch window today, so the good news is, it's not 2 hours like it was supposed to be yesterday. So if they don't launch, we won't be waiting around forever. Why not? Ohio. There we go. Ohio. Another Ohioan in the chat.
We're the Manchester United fan club from Ohio.
Texas. We got Texas here. Why are you licking my hand, Wiley? Not on camera.
I pulled him out of a place on Midgard called Texas.
What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? Say it in the camera. Yeah, he still wants the jeb. He's still looking for my jib. More Ohioans. We're dominating the chat today. Michigan from the north. What's going on, Michigan? We got the UK. How's it going, UK?
You sound like you're from London.
Man, you need a Tic Tac, dude. You stink. More UK members. Wisconsin. Cheese. Estonia. Oh, man, I need to get an Encino Man soundbite now. Estonia. I don't know if we've ever had Estonia in the chat. Maybe. I have a terrible memory. Virginia. New Zealand. More California, Germany, Deutschland, Missouri, New York. From all over the place. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. So I forgot to shut the shades, obviously, in my rush to get this live stream started. So you're going to get a glowy Kevin today. All right. This is how it's going to be because I'm not getting up. All right. We're going to tune into the live stream here in a second. But before we do, quick announcement. After this thing is successful, or whether it's successful in the way it's supposed to be successful, or it's successful in that it gives us a great show and blows up. Afterward, that's Godzilla right there. That's a Godzilla. That's sweet. Man, we're missing out on so much. I really need to turn the volume up. We can always play it back, right? So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, after the SpaceX mission, or at least like if they make it into the coast phase, I will play the preview for my upcoming Starship documentary. Been working on it since early September, mid-September, so a couple months now. Like, I've been slaving away at it, man, and I'm really excited to share it with you. It's not quite ready yet. I have a little bit more work to do on it today and maybe in the next couple days, but I will show you a pretty much near completed preview of it, all right, like a 2-minute clip or so. Again, I'll show that to you after this first initial takeoff, launch, liftoff. And then it's supposed to be like an hour, hour and a half coast phase. So then we might play some Kerbal, build a Starship in Kerbal, which I don't know if I've ever done that before. If I have, it's been a long time, and it was in KSP1. So we'll try doing that. Yeah, so quick brief about this mission right quick. First, I also have to thank Steve Oatswald for both those tips. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate those super chats. Oh, and another one. 3 of them. Wow. Steve. What's up, Steve? No messages. It's just dropping the change, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. So obviously, if you haven't figured it out already, let's go big screen. So as I talk about it, you can have a better view of it. Okay. Starship Super Heavy. Starship 9 with Super Heavy booster. No, Starship, I'm getting all kerfuffled. Starship 26 with Super Heavy booster 9. The previous one last on 420 in April, that was Starship 24/7 booster 7 ship 24. So we're on 25/9 now. They skipped booster 8. All right. And yeah, there's those grid fins. They had to replace one of those actuators yesterday or the day before. So this thing is going, I mean, you can call it orbit. They're not calling it an orbital flight because it's not actually, the Starship, the upper stage is not actually going to orbit. It's going to be shy of orbit. So it's just going to go up on a huge parabola, and it's going to splash down somewhere in the Pacific around Hawaii. Okay? That's what the plan is for today. Now, Elon said it's like a 50-50 chance that Starship will actually make it to and pass hot staging. Okay, so that's the key. That's what we want to see today is Starship make it to hot staging, and if it can get through hot staging successfully, that's a huge win, right? But I'm going to be optimistic and say that Starship is going to successfully, gently splash down in the Pacific as planned. What do you guys say? Put it in the chat, and then afterward, people who watch this after can put it in the comments who was right and who was not. We'll take names and make lists. All right. Fox Pup, greetings from Nebraska. Appreciate you in the locals. Mokes is back. This reminds me of my youth getting up early to watch Apollo launches. Now SpaceX mission. Oh, I know, right? Growing up, like I never was a huge fan of the space shuttle. I just kind of saw it as taking a bus to space. But I loved growing up. I love the Apollo era. So I always was like depressed. I grew up depressed because I never got to see like a Saturn V launch. But here we are, right? You're never out of the game, right? East Coast, Canada again. All right. So let's turn the volume up and listen in on what SpaceX is chatting about. Of course, this is actually being streamed on X.
However, today will mark the first time that a reusable space transportation system is attempting it. The Titan program did hot staging quite successfully in the early 1960s, but they were not concerned with reuse, so there was no issue when the Titan first stage took considerable damage upon ignition of the second stage engine. Now today, there is a good chance that our booster will also incur some damage from the second stage engines, but we need to test it out, see if the system can tolerate it, and collect data to learn how to do hot staging better next time, because ultimately, when successful, it could increase Starship's payload to orbit capacity by 10%. So more payload and more people to Mars. Hot staging also helps us maximize the vehicle's performance by leaving those three first stage engines on, so gravity can't rob us of precious velocity, or at least not as much of it. Hot staging also helps to ensure the ship's liquid propellants are at the bottom of the prop tanks, which is where we need that propellant to be in order to quickly light the ship's engines. Another reason to do hot staging, it reduces the risk at stage separation by moving to a passive stage system, deleting parts and simplifying, meaning physics is going to be doing most of the work instead of mechanical parts that would otherwise be pushing the two stages away from each other.
Shut them drapes. I was getting
That's a great summary, Kate.
blindsided.
And of course, this required design changes from Flight 1. The most notable of which is the interstage here. So on Flight 1, that interstage was completely enclosed. But for hot staging, the interstage portion between the booster and the ship is going to see dramatic increases in pressure and temperature. So we had to change the structure to include vents for the exhaust gases that the ship's Raptor engines will produce. Now, the three center engines
I call it the second stage
ship
launch
actually
mount.
Gimbal, they rotate. And we're going to be gimbaling them outwards to reduce the forces
this
that
rocket
are being
requires
directly
two
imparted
launch
on the
pads.
booster and maximize the exhaust gas that's going through those vents. We've also beefed up the ship's space heat shield to withstand the higher temperatures and pressures. And for today's test, like really getting through hot staging would be a major milestone. There are some risks associated with this test, but Of course, the ship and booster are going to be pretty far out over the ocean in the safety zone and far away from people.
Yeah, regardless of what happens, it's going to be super exciting to watch. Now, in addition to the first and second stages of the vehicle, Starship has a third stage that we call Stage 0. This consists of the launch mount, the tower, and the tank farm, all of which you can see there on your screen, as well as the pad infrastructure built around the rocket.
That's a sweet
Fun
image,
fact,
man.
It's the Guinness Book of World Records holder for the largest launch tower in the world. What a beautiful drone shot that we have here.
Clearly.
Also important part of the system, but less visible right now, especially because of the fog, is our new water-cooled steel flame deflector, and that's certainly a new upgrade for this flight.
Yeah, on Flight 1, the Starship's launch pad was damaged pretty significantly during liftoff as those Super Heavy Raptor engines fired their full thrust into the foundation for more than 12 seconds. So now we have a new high-pressure, water-cooled steel flame deflector system that we developed and installed between the flights, and there you can see the video of it dispensing 260,000 gallons of water. And that's designed
Splash pad,
to
dude.
dissipate those loads from the Raptor engines and support rapid turnaround of the launch pad with minimal refurbishment between flights. Part of a rapidly reusable launch system also means the pad infrastructure.
Yeah.
We performed multiple standalone tests and have used this new system for both the Flight 2 booster static fire tests. And we've also reinforced the pad pretty significantly from Flight 1.
Yes. Now, also part of Stage 0, we mentioned before, the launch mount. Kind of hard to see there, but it's what the booster is connected to. Oh, here we can see basically the legs of the launch mount. This is what holds Starship and all of its mass. It holds Starship during ignition, right there at the Super Heavy booster. This is what houses all of the equipment needed to fuel the Super Heavy booster.
I want to
and
see
condition
Elon
it
get in
for
a
flight,
swimsuit
as
and
well
like
as
just
all of those
lay on the
electrical,
splash pad and
communication,
turn it
data
on.
connections between the
There he
ground and
goes.
Starship. Bottom line is, it's an important part of how we talk to Starship on the ground and understand that it's really ready to fly.
And of course, the awesome camera shot there of those 33 Raptor engines.
Such a great view. We
Yeah.
don't have that view for Falcon 9,
I
so I
wish we did.
love that we get it here. Now, as we mentioned earlier, the real game changer with Starship is not only mass to orbit capabilities, but that it's designed to be used over and over and over again with little to no downtime in between. Full and rapid reusability is the key to making routine space travel a reality, and SpaceX has been working on this since its inception.
Yeah, with SpaceX's family of Falcon launch vehicles, which are the first and only orbital class rockets capable of reflight, we started that. And Starship is going to take this even further with a reusable first and second stage. Now, while most rockets are expended after their portion of the mission, SpaceX rockets land back on Earth and are quickly returned to our hangars to prepare to refly again.
Exactly. In fact, 90% of all Falcon 9 boosters that have flown this year have been reused, or as we like to say, flight proven. So while launching and landing rockets may seem routine today, this was not always the case. For those of you that have been following.
All right, you guys have questions, so I'm going to take a minute to answer some of them. So here's the diagram really quick. See if I'll just make it big screen, screw it. This is from SpaceX.com/launches. So it doesn't look like we're going to have a controlled landing burn. All right, so it's not going to be a nice soft splashdown. It doesn't look like it's going to be a belly flopper. So that's cool. Okay, and then here's the sequence of events right here. All right, just so you use a way as how do I get rid of this thing?
Each of these landing attempts,
That's
to
how.
not land an orbital rocket, were teaching us what we needed to know in a flight-like environment to get that full picture of how all the systems
and
interacted.
hot staging is when it's the new thing that SpaceX is going to try for this mission. So last time they didn't make it there. We just saw the whole thing tumbling head over heels, okay, end over end. But this time, if they make it to staging, I think it's like just 1 or 2 engines of Starship. A couple engines are going to ignite while it's still attached to the booster. So it kind of gets that extra momentum, that extra push. And that's why it has that armored upper dome bulkhead and the hot staging ring. So that that exhaust, that ventage can seep out into the vacuum of space. So that's what they're going to try. And then they're going to release it as it's burning. All right. I think Saturn V, if I remember right, it staged and then it lit the second stage engines. If I remember that correctly, it's been a while. Thomas von Rice, thank you so much for that super chat. Wait for it. We're waiting, bro. Oh man, these are some epic shots, dude. I'm gonna have a bunch of new B-roll to add into the Starship documentary, which is great. Man, these are sweet. All right, volume, commence.
Data received will help us improve. It's the second of many future flight tests of Starship before it becomes fully operational.
And these flight tests teach us about the limits of our design. They help us improve our understanding of the vehicle, and ultimately will help us to make Starship more reliable and rapidly reusable. So again, whatever the outcome and however far we get today, we can promise excitement. So why are we doing all of this? Why do we need a rocket this big, and why does it need to be reusable so quickly? And that answer goes back to SpaceX's mission, which is to make life multiplanetary.
We aren't just building a new spacecraft. We're changing what it means to go to space. By building the most powerful rocket ever flown and a ship designed to carry people, cargo, habitats, satellites, and more, we're unlocking a future where our dreams of exploration will no longer exceed our grasp. And this mission continues with flights like today's integrated test.
And these are flights where we're going to fail fast, but learn even faster, where each time we're going to try something new while flying something that we've improved. And ultimately, that's going to build up a fleet to fly early and often as Starship rapidly evolves to become more capable and more reliable.
The first stop
We're under
is
10
our
minutes.
nearest neighbor with a
Don't get
surface
scared
that hasn't
now.
seen
There's some
visitors
new
in
B-roll.
more than 50
Nice.
years. Under Artemis with NASA, Starship will return people back to the moon. After those first expeditions, we'll be ready to fly more people along with everything that it takes to build a moon base. Think about that. Hardware that will enable us to live on another world is sitting on a launch pad on Earth right now.
And the moon is just the proving ground. When the time comes to make that leap to Mars, everything gets ratcheted up by orders of magnitude.
The logistics of supporting an entire city on Mars are daunting, requiring millions of pounds of cargo flown from Earth, spread out over thousands of launches. And we just broke our own record for the number of launches in a single year, and we're going to break it again next year.
Now, in the years to come, Starship is going to dwarf those figures as we bring it online and truly make life multiplanetary. But for now, anyway, as the clock counts down to today's flight test, why don't we get another status update from John?
Yes, John,
We're just
inform
over
us.
9 minutes from liftoff. Is the countdown clock
Inform us
clicks to
thusly.
0. The teams, good news is, teams aren't working any significant issues on the launch vehicle right now.
Significant, huh?
Propellant loading is continuing on both the Super Heavy and the ship stages. Most recently, we began loading LOX and methane fuel into the header tanks on the Starship. And on the graphic on the left side of the screen, you can see up in the nose of the second stage, what we call Starship, are those 2 header tanks for fuel and
Dude, they're going to launch this thing no matter what. Even if there are multiple significant issues, they've been waiting so long for the FAA and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. They're just going to launch this thing. I mean, they got subsequent vehicles pretty much ready to go, right? They might have a little bit more testing to do for them. But, dude, I cannot... This reminds me when I went to the Starship presentation in 2021. Or is that 2022? I don't remember. I think it was 2022, February. Man, when they had that full Starship stacked on the pad there, dude, that was amazing. I remember looking at that thing from underneath it, and it's like, it's a monster. The experience just doesn't do it justice watching it on video. And that thing wasn't even venting at the time, dude. Look, it wasn't making all the hissing noises and stuff. I mean, it looked like a huge monster, like an alive monster when it was just sitting there. Now that it's like coming alive, I don't know. It was really intimidating, dude. Really intimidating. I can't imagine boarding one of these things. Hopefully we won't have to imagine it for much longer. It's got to be a few years, all right? I can't get over this fog, dude. It's such an awesome sight. Kenji Fox, thank you so much for the super flying peach. I appreciate you and the peach.
7 minutes, 10 seconds.
Look at that. Breathe.
The test flight of Starship. Propellant loading is continuing on both stages of Starship. We're waiting now
3,000
for the
of you
completion
watching.
Of loading of the header
Welcome.
tanks in the next few minutes.
Double hand wave.
The first stage is also beginning pressurization for flight while we are continuing to load propellant into it. And again, booster propellant load will finish at approximately T-minus 3 minutes. At that stage, both first and second stages are fully loaded, and we'll have the 10 million pounds of liquid propellant on board the 2 stages of Starship. Now in the next few minutes, the guidance system will perform its final alignment. We'll get the automated flight termination system that'll arm, and the final TVC checkout will be performed. We may get a view looking up at the engines as we gimbal
don't
the
look.
15 middle
Don't look,
engines
you pervs.
to check them
Don't look
out
up the
just
skirt.
before liftoff at about T-minus 90 seconds.
Elon was
If
being
we
big
need to
pervy
hold,
last
it would
night.
come at T-minus 40 seconds. That's the point in the countdown where we can pause to wait for final checkouts or pressurization to complete. Or, as we're hearing right now, we're still working a few boats in the area that are headed south.
Get out, boats. Get out.
And a lot of cheering
You
here in
Peppers, you're
Alpha.
good.
The
You're
boats
fine,
are heading
Peeps. Come here,
south,
buddy.
But we are still planning to hold at T-minus 40 seconds if necessary.
Stupid boats. Thank you
Just
for the
amazing
hearts in the
views
chat.
of today's launch.
Love
There's
it.
nothing quite right like a launch at basically sunrise.
You got slobber all
Sunrise,
over
I
me,
think, was
dude.
just about
I'm on camera. You're
10
embarrassing
or 15
me.
minutes ago out at Starbase.
Yeah,
wants
these
a jab.
views are just incredible. Couldn't ask for a more beautiful day to attempt a test flight here. Again, these are live views of Starship as it awaits its second integrated flight test. Our primary objective today is to
Hand
get
check.
through stage separation.
check.
We really
All right.
want to test out our attempt to
Something only
perform hot
millennials will
staging,
get.
where
Maybe
we are
Xers.
going to ignite the engines on the second stage while some of the engines on the first stage are still lit. So essentially both stages will be making fire at the same time, and that will push the booster away from the ship. It'll separate the two stages. So that's the primary goal for today. We really hope to be able to test that out, but at the end of the day, all and any data that we can collect is going to be incredibly helpful and help inform future improvements and iterations of the vehicle.
Yeah, Kate, there are other objectives for today too, assuming we get farther than stage separation. There's goals to test out how reentry goes on the ship portion. If the booster survives stage separation, then it's going to try a boost back burn and hopefully a soft landing as a sort of dress rehearsal for what it would look like on land. So everything coming up to that big design change, though, of hot staging today.
Yeah, exactly. Like you were saying, that booster, it will be attempting a water landing in the Gulf of Mexico. We don't intend to recover any of the hardware for either the ship or the booster today. But that booster, yeah, we want to try and to demonstrate controlled ascent through most engine cutoff. We want to try to demonstrate that hot staging separation and boost back flip, trying to basically demonstrate controlled burn and entry and that soft water landing. Like you said, it will help inform when we attempt a land landing, but we start in the water first.
Exactly.
Just like we did with the Falcon 9.
Yeah, exactly. And, just getting to hot staging, though, is going to be farther than we got on Flight 1.
Yes.
Flight 1, that was
So
about
they're
as
gonna
far
do
as
a
we got.
soft
We didn't
landing
have
of the
hot staging
booster.
on that vehicle. So that's the first and foremost objective
Hopefully the
today.
onboard
Get
cams
that far, hopefully.
will stay connected with
Fingers
Starlink
crossed.
or whatever.
Now, one thing that's a little cool about Starship, and it's different from Falcon 9, is we can actually hold a little bit longer if we needed to than we can on Falcon 9 missions.
They're probably going to hold out T-minus 40
Once we get
seconds.
to T-minus 40 seconds, and if we did have a hold, depending on the reason for the hold, we can hold for up to 30 minutes.
It's 30 now,
And today,
okay.
actually, our entire launch window is about 20 minutes, so the whole duration would cover most of our launch window.
Yeah.
And that's different from Falcon.
Yeah, absolutely. With Falcon, we have to go exactly at T0. That 40-second hold is super helpful.
So they have a 20-minute
if we
launch
need
window,
to,
but they
for
could hold for
example,
30 minutes? That does not make
we
sense
need more
to me.
time to pressurize the COPVs for flight levels. Perhaps
If
fuel.
the engineers just need to look at some of the data, see
Yeah.
how engines are performing or the avionics.
Exactly. Those checkouts, being able to.
Wow,
have the
4,500 of you.
opportunity to
You guys
top
must
off
love
the fuel
Starship.
Or locks if it's not
Look
fully
at that
loaded.
view.
And, we might want to just
Should've
take
brought
a
the
few more
shades,
minutes
man.
for that. So that T-minus 40-second hold can be really helpful, but we don't have that
2-minute
option on
warning.
Falcon, so it's a little bit different here.
We're just inside T-minus 2 minutes and counting. The good news right now, we're hearing it doesn't look like we're going to need to hold a T-minus 40 second.
Don't
as
jinx
the
it,
boats
John.
Are clearing out of
Jinx
the way.
and John.
Next event coming up, TVC wiggles as we move the center engines on the first stage.
Correction, light those candles. There's many of them. 33
You
to
can
be
see
specific.
maybe just a little bit there.
Yeah, they're gimbling a little
90
bit.
seconds. Wiggles are underway as we're checking
Wiggle,
out
wiggle.
the first stage.
I say they're going to hold at T-minus 40 seconds, but
PVC
they will
checks
launch
are
this thing.
complete.
They will.
Next major event we're going to hear, hopefully, is the flight director go for launch at T-minus 30 seconds.
Lick them clouds. There's not many of them, but let's do some licking. There's more ground clouds than there are sky
As
clouds
we're coming
today.
up on T-minus 1 minute, when we get to T-minus 40 seconds, we'll just listen in. Last time, as you recall, we did hold at 40 seconds, but it took a few seconds for the clock to recover, so we're going to watch that.
Get loose,
As we
guys.
press
Shake it
the
out. Here we go.
T0, we're going to watch
I don't want
and
anybody
listen
pulling any
to
muscles
the second test flight of
in your
Starship.
celebration. Wow, John, thank you so much for that super chat. You are amazing. I'm going to buy a lot of dog food with that. Dang, the dogs, thank you, man. Man, thank you so much. There it is, T-minus 40 seconds. Kevin called it. Kevin called it. John jinxed it. John the jinxer. Kevin the caller. There we go, and we're back. We're back. Get excited, Wiley. You must get excited.
T-minus 30 seconds. Back to rapid recycle.
Oh, they're recycling. There it is. Back to T-minus 40. Oh, get off my cord, dude. Are you stoked? Come here. Get up here. Come here. Wiley's watching with us. He's a good boy. Here comes Pepe's. Kunu's somewhere else. I don't know where Kunu's
Back at Hawthorne, we're at T-minus 40 seconds in holding. We had a rapid recycle. We've not heard anything over the countdown net as the team works both first and second stages. We're going to monitor
Keith
the nets
was right.
for a minute.
They're holding. Someone tooted with their butthole. That's rude. Was it you, peeps? Richard Budd, thank you so much. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate you.
Got a little bit of an update. We're continuing to hold at T-minus 40 seconds. This is the normal hold point for Starship, as we talked earlier. Sounds like we're working just late pressurization on, I believe, the second stage. Team is
Come on,
working
Starship.
it.
You're
All
holding
the
us
other
up.
systems are on hold right now at 40 seconds. We can hold here for about 15 minutes or so before we would run out of window for this morning.
Yeah, the other guy said 30 minutes, which is longer than the launch
So right
window
now
itself.
they're working
Unless I
on
misheard
filling
him.
pressure vessels. And ideally, we'll be able to solve this and come back and release the clock at T-minus 40 seconds. We're going to continue to listen and monitor for another few minutes.
So I can't imagine how long this pre-flight list is to all the checks you have to go through for this thing to launch it. It has to be like a manual this thick. I remember when I did that Project Skyfall. It was my pandemic project that summer of 2020.
It's worth mentioning here that
It was just an
don't go
RC
away.
skydiver I
We
made
are
from
holding at
scratch,
T-minus
and I
40
had a
seconds, but once
pre-flight
the
list like
teams
a whole page long. It was like
resolved
15 to
see
20
the data
things.
that they
I
want to
can't
see,
imagine
the
because
clock can restart
Starship has
straight
so many
away,
moving
and it'll
parts,
start ticking
man.
down from T-minus 40 again, all towards liftoff.
Yeah, exactly. Now, while we do have the ability to hold for up to 30 minutes, we only have a 20-minute launch window, so don't go away. Don't change the channel. And just like Shiva said, we can restart that clock, and there it is.
And there it goes.
There it goes. Here we go, guys. If you want to watch the Project Skyfall, my
T-minus 30
RC documentary, it's in a previous like series on. It's like in its own playlist. It's pretty interesting. It's like a series of 7 videos, how I make this RC skydiver, and it's pretty dramatic. Here we go, guys. Get your heads in the game. Come on, Lionel. Watch the screen, dude.
10, 9, 8,
Here we go. It's what you've been waiting for.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on, camera. Lift
got
off.
liftoff.
Lift off. Yes. Go, baby, go. Quit biting me, Wiley. Smooth. Lick them clouds, Rocket. Such a smooth ride. No engines out yet. Bottom left-hand side of your screen there. She's going. Looks like the splash pad did its job.
We are T plus
To
40
space.
seconds into the flight of Starship. 33 Raptor engines
Acquisition
powering the
booster
first
ship,
stage.
power and telemetry nominal.
We've heard
This deserves
power and
2 hot
telemetry
honorary
nominal
headbangs.
come out. We're heading downrange over the Gulf of Mexico.
Downrange. Adjust the contrast.
Next call out tells us Starship is through the period of greatest stress on the way to space. Now, the next major event is hot staging in just over 90 seconds from now. To get ready, the booster will shut down all but 3 of the Raptor engines. Clamps holding the 2 stages together will release, and the Starship's second stage will ignite its engines. Starship will then separate from the Super Heavy booster and head to space.
Focus.
And at the same time, the 3 engines that are still firing on Super Heavy will flip the booster.
All engines still going, man.
Engines will ignite for the boost back burn, putting the first stage on path for a splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
There we go. Look at that. Just the engines look like a UFO in and of itself, like a disc. It's awesome. It's a flying popsicle.
Engine power continues to look nominal on 33 Raptor engines. We're about to shut down the first stage and perform staging. Let's watch and listen.
I'm just impressed that the splash pad works so well, dude. These guys are genius. What's you doing? What you doing? What you doing?
And acquisition of signal Houston and New Orleans.
It looked like it was gimbling too much. I thought it was tipping over. Come on, baby. Hot stage. Hot stage.
Stage separation.
Oh, look at that! Ah! Look at him go! Is the boost back burn? That's a very aggressive boost back burn. Man, that thing was like, I'm out.
Successful hot stage for SpaceX's Starship.
Oh, where's the dual screen?
Incredible views of our Super Heavy
Look at that
booster.
tracking.
As you can see, the Super Heavy booster has just experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. However, our ship is still underway with all 6.
Power and telemetry nominal.
And we just heard there, ship avionics, power and telemetry nominal. All 6 engines are lit, as you can see from the GUI there at the bottom right-hand side of your screen.
Greatest magic trick in the world, and just like that, she's gone.
Now, we did know that the that hot staging was going to be incredibly dynamic. We knew that there was a chance that the booster would not survive, but we're going to take that data and figure out how we can make the booster better for the next hot stage.
Yeah, that hot staging.
Yeah, all 33 engines are not working anymore, if you can see that on the bottom left-hand side of your screen there.
Dynamic stuff happening. But ship is still going strong.
Go,
and
ship,
it's doing
go.
great. Right now, the ship, the second stage, is on its way. Like we said, you can see all 6 of its engines are ignited. The next major milestone for the ship will be the shutdown of those engines, or SECO, second engine cutoff.
They need like a little gravestone rip icon above the booster. That'd be hilarious.
So far, today has been incredibly successful, even with the RUD of the Super Heavy booster. This is amazing.
Primary
like
objective of the
booster did its job, and then it was like, it's all you now, Starship, and then it killed itself.
It did that admirably.
Self-sacrifice.
Yeah, we definitely asked.
Starship trajectory nominal.
Self-sacrificial
All right,
booster.
great news there. That trajectory for ship is
Acquisition of
nominal.
signal Cape Canaveral.
Once again, Starship's second stage is firing those engines, and as you just heard, everything's looking good. Now, for the ship, we wanted it to survive hot staging, which, as you can see there by that little dot on your screen, it did. We also want to basically demonstrate that the successful startup of those engines, demonstrating controlled ascent, which is what it's doing right now, and eventually orbital insertion.
Do they not have onboard
we are
cameras on
hoping
this thing?
to
Apparently not.
basically send this around the Earth. And if it makes it this far, splash down in the Pacific Ocean, a couple hundred miles north of Hawaii. Now, if we get
the
that
fuel
far,
gauges are pretty cool.
like all of that sounds great. Secondary
Propellant
objectives
gauges.
for ship, again, continuing to gather engine data and about its health, performance.
Nominal ship chamber pressures.
Great news there. That tells us that the chamber pressures inside of the Starship, again, that's that small dot on your screen, basically the propellant pressures in the ship are looking good.
Yeah, the bottom right corner of your screen, you can see essentially a user interface showing us which engines are lit. So the 3 center sea level Raptor engines on ship are gimbaling engines. The 3 outer engines in the triangle,
It's like
the
we're
larger
looking at a
ones
star
are
or
Raptor
something.
vacuum
What's everyone
engines.
looking at?
All of them continuing to fire nominally. So they're at the pressures that we expect to try to get into our target trajectory today.
Yeah.
And we're not targeting orbit today. We're targeting almost orbit today. That's very intentional as part of the mission design. The goal is to get to a thrust profile similar to what we would need for orbit, but also
And
to get
expected
to the
losses
energy
signal,
levels
Houston.
that the ship would need
Test
to
that heat
dissipate
shield.
for re-entry. And so we're actually going in a suborbital trajectory today.
What's going on?
But
What's
that
happening?
trajectory will get us to the energy levels that we need at re-entry, where we can really stress that heat shield
Star's
and get
shining
valuable
brighter
data
now.
on re-entry. And those calls that we are still on a nominal trajectory here and seeing nominal pressures means that we have a really good shot of hitting our target orbit.
Yeah.
Maybe
Now,
one of the engines is acting
if
up.
the booster had survived,
Although they're all
we
burning
would be
still.
around the time where it would be getting
One of the
ready
engines
to
might be
land,
eating
performing
itself.
its re-entry, but it unfortunately did not survive. That being said, that's okay.
That might be
it
the RCS
survived
system.
several
Turn, guys.
seconds after hot staging, so we're going to take that data and improve the hot staging sequence and probably improve the hardware itself for the next flight.
Leaf. Oh, I think that's supposed to happen. It was basically out of propellant there. I wonder what the trajectory, if it looks nominal or not. Nominal. This is a success overall. It got through hot staging. The booster was supposed to do a controlled splashdown, but it said it decided to go poof, which was pretty awesome to watch, not gonna lie. It just did it so randomly. Just one of the engines must have had a catastrophic failure or something. That or it was going off. It might have been going off trajectory and SpaceX blew it up. That might have been what happened.
Coming up on the projected time that ship would shut down its engines.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with it yet.
As you can tell by the excitement from the crowd here at Mission Control Center in Hawthorne.
There's Elon.
There's a great view of our Star Command Center. That's our control center at Starbase Texas. The crowd here, Mission Control Center behind us in Hawthorne. Everyone is super exciting. What a successful day this has been
It's a huge
so
camera
far.
for the 21st century, dude. You just use your iPhone now. Is Starship still alive? That is the question.
And I mean, up to this point, major successful milestones through hot staging, which was the big objective today. So we are going to head into the coast phase, planned for the next about hour and 5 minutes. We'll be returning
it's
around
still
the T
alive.
plus 1 hour and 15 minute mark. And that's while we're waiting for Starship to continue on to its next step for reentry. We're not totally
That's
sure what
Elon's
video
brother
we're gonna
right there,
get,
and that's Elon's
that
son,
video
whose
comes
name nobody
normally
can
by
pronounce.
overflying ground stations, but we don't have a ton along our flight path. So fingers crossed that we will get some via Starlink on this mission since we're testing that out.
They are using Starlink, all right.
And also give us a moment. We are hearing some chatter on the net, so we're going to try to parse that for you.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, we had a very successful liftoff, successful booster separation, hot staging, and then the booster did its boost back burn, and my guess it might have went off telemetry and they just detonated it, they clacked it, because it just is so rapid. I'd have to go back and play it, either that or an engine malfunction and started a chain reaction, but it looked like the explosion might have happened like midship where the FTS is, the flight termination system. One of the claquettes are. But I don't know. That's just my guessing. And then the booster or the ship went on its way and went over the horizon. And we're just waiting to see if it's still alive, really. I think it is. So yeah, as he was saying, what they want to test out next, they're not doing an orbital flight. They're doing a suborbital flight to test the heat shield during re-entry.
We have lost the data from the second stage. We had heard a call out that we were internal guidance, which means we were getting near the end of the approximately 6-minute burn of Starship. But we haven't gotten any more data since then, so we think we may have lost the second stage. So we would not be in the coast phase. We wouldn't be able to come back in an hour or so and possibly get ready for re-entry.
How do you lose a ship in
what
space,
we do
bro?
know right now is we had an on-time launch at 7 o'clock. We got through the boats. First stage looked beautiful with 33 Raptor engines firing. We got the hot staging, you know, the thing that we really wanted to see and impressed. We saw the separation. We saw the flip maneuver.
If you live in Hawaii, get your umbrella out.
The 6 Raptor engines on Starship, and it headed away.
It's about to rain
Everything
pieces.
really looked good.
About to rain Starship on you.
What we do believe right now is that the automated flight termination system on second stage appears to have triggered very late in the burn as we were headed downrange out over the Gulf of Mexico. But the real topping on the cake today, that successful liftoff, Kate, Shiva, the hot staging is just beautiful. Exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah, ultimately, honestly, such an incredible.
That's like worst case scenario. That's like the only thing that worries me. Like, is this, you have Starship, you know, going on its way in space, but then you lose signal and you're not sure if you're trying to clack it, kind of like the first test flight, and it's not clacking, it's not exploding, and there it goes. Look out, planet Earth, it's gonna land somewhere. Okay, so, oh man, that would make me so nervous because, it's just one of those things that can go wrong and can really hinder the program, if not completely shut it down. It's pretty crazy.
Yay. And I think with that, we're going to sign off from here in Hawthorne.
Get it clacked.
Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
No, thank you. Thank you for the awesome show, yo. The show, yo.
You sound like you're from London.
Sorry about that. I forgot to change it. Me only. Wiley, what'd you think of that, dude? Doggo cam. I think he still wants his ball. That's in the entertainment system. Oh, that's Peeps. Peeps is there lying on the floor. He's alive! Good for you, Peeps. Okay, well, as promised, I'm going to now show you guys a sneak peek of my Starship documentary. I was hoping to have it ready to go today. I've been working on it for months, but it's just not there yet. Almost, but I do have like a 2-minute segment I'm going to show you right now. So here you go. Enjoy. For years, Elon Musk has openly stated that public support for SpaceX's Mars program is crucial for success.
Ultimately, this is going to be a huge public-private partnership, getting people excited about going, getting the public behind this.
And so he and his company have been as transparent as possible with the public, appealing to the common dreams and shared interests of others, which is especially commendable given SpaceX's work with proprietary technology under international traffic and arms regulations. Along with its CEO's eccentricities, the aesthetically pleasing self-landing rockets, and the lofty mission to colonize Mars, SpaceX's transparency is very much responsible for the massive fan base it has behind it. It was transparency that both inspired me to make YouTube videos reporting on their progress before development of the Mars rocket even began. But once construction kicked off, SpaceX gawkers and supporters grew exponentially.
It's a freaking spaceport, brah.
Sowing the seeds of this new SpaceX-focused YouTube genre that further spread the word of Starship current events. By the time it came to testing early prototypes of the ship, an army of social media users were waiting in the wings to share the inevitable, rapid, unscheduled disassemblies with the rest of the world, which captured the attention and imagination of millions of more people around the globe. And now, the self-described space community is absolutely massive, spanning every major social media site and often pushing Starship as a trending topic on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's so large and full of passionate enthusiasts, the fanbase has more than once pressured governing agencies to get on board or get out of the way. And though SpaceX first caught the attention of nerdy hipsters in California, Elon's influence increased further as more people on the political right began supporting the free speech efforts of the eco-conscious rocket man around the time of his Twitter takeover in 2022. And shortly after that, they too took notice of Elon's otherworldly passion project. Over the years, countless SpaceX fanboys and girls around the nation and the world have been inspired to join the ranks to help the company achieve the common dream of leaving Earth behind. The line between the organization itself and its supporters is blurred to say the least. Neither could survive without the other, and there is an appearance of unity among them. It appears everyone is unified in a shared goal. It appears there is a common utterance of their hearts, to expand the reach of humanity out among the stars. But appearances can be deceiving. Upon closer inspection, one will find there is much more lurking in the shadowy recesses of the human heart. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Wow. So yeah, that's just a quick preview of the upcoming Starship documentary. Just by that 2-minute clip, you have no idea what this thing is going to be about. It's going to take you on a wild ride that you never planned on going on, all right? But it's been a lot of work, a lot of research. It's about an hour long, and I've been working on the script. It took me about a little over a month just on the script. I wrote it, I researched it, I wrote it, and then I reread it and perfected it over the course of a good month. And I'm going all out on this. Like, I didn't mean to put this much effort into it, but I balls out is the only speed I go, apparently. I've been putting a lot of time, a lot of money into this. Paying a lot of money to put like professional B-roll into it. So thank you guys so much for the financial support with your super dollar tip chats. Okay, Adrian Moore, I appreciate you. Richard Budd again, John Meschel, you guys are awesome. William Shadal, I like your name, Shadal. Thank you guys so much for the support and the happy peaches that are tearing down the cities. You guys are amazing. So I'm putting your money to good use to entertain you guys. All right. So that was a very fun morning to kick off my Saturday morning. I appreciate you guys, all of you, spending it with me. It's been a lovely time. We got to see everything. We got to see the ship lift off and that magnificence, and then we got to see the booster separation, which was amazing. Like, I thought they were going to keep, my memory sucks, but I thought they were going to keep at least a couple engines on the booster burning while they hot staged it, but I'm pretty sure I saw them shut them all down. And I was like, oh crap, is it not separating? And then we saw the boosh. This is like the sound effects time. The boosh, the boosh coming out of the hot staging ring. It was awesome. Man, I'm going to watch that like 1,000 times. And I'm going to have to, because I'm going to splice this up. I'm going to put it in the Starship documentary. And what's nice, I guess what works out about not having the documentary ready to go today is that now I can wait for SpaceX to release the behind the scenes, the professional footage of the launch, and I can splice that up and put it in this documentary as well. So I do plan on having the documentary released. This is Saturday, so technically it'd be next week, sometime during the work week. I'm gonna keep on it. I've been working like every hour that I can on it, so definitely this month, but I'm gonna aim for sometime during the work week this week. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel on both Rumble and the tubes, okay? I will put it on X eventually, but I'm not monetized on X, so even though I put my episodes of SpaceX and the news on there, I don't get paid for them. It's just my gift to the world, all right? If you want to call it a gift, because it's just my face on the internet, which nobody wants to see that. So I do appreciate you guys supporting me on these monetized channels. But you can watch on all of them, all right? What else? Anything else? Yeah. Keep an eye on SpaceX's Twitter to confirm that Starship is in fact exploded. Okay, and it's not coasting as a warhead right now toward Hawaii. Okay, they've had enough problems recently. Yeah, but the booster is definitely gone. All right, R.I.P. You guys have a nominal Saturday. Okay, don't do anything I would do. Until next time, Godspeed. Outro commence.